Hi friends, welcome back. It's been a long time, so I guess I should say thank you for coming back. It has been a long time, almost a year, I realized, which is crazy to think about. I mean, last time you saw me, I was pregnant. I'm not pregnant. Our baby Atlas, he is here. He is 7 months old, which is wild. I don't know where time went. Last time you saw us, we were in Germany. We are no longer in Germany. We are in America. We have moved home, back to Washington. And so I thought I would do a quick catch up, life update, and then a quick just little tour of our new home, because we are in our new home. We found a home. I'll tell you a little bit about that journey, because that was a wild ride. If you were trying to buy a house in this market, you know. So, so just a little quick life update. So I kind of just had to take a step back. We went through a lot of stuff this last year, health-wise with both of our kids. Atlas had some problems after he was born. He's totally fine now, thank God. But it was kind of a mess. Just very stressful, very chaotic. Right after he was born, he had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. He was not breathing. He was totally blue. To be honest, I haven't quite processed all of this. I just kind of tucked it in the back of my brain and been for another day. But they rushed him off. They got him breathing right away, luckily. Brought him in to see us, but then took him right away to the NICU. And so he was in the NICU for a couple hours, and then they handed him to us, and he was still definitely very blue pink looking. And then Derek got to basically spend an hour with us, and then he had to leave. They kicked him out of the hospital because of COVID. And so luckily they had loosened their restrictions a little bit, and he was able to come see us every day for an hour. So he was able to visit every day for an hour. But I mean, it was tough. They keep you there in Germany. They keep you in the hospital for 3 days, which felt like forever. Because when I was in the hospital with Zoe, after we had her, I was in the hospital for 36 hours. I was like, I'm done. I want to go home. I'm done with this. And so it's mandatory you stay there 3 days. And so it was Atlas and I for 3 days by ourselves, with Derek popping in for an hour visit every day. So that was tough. And then we got home, and then literally less than 24 hours later, we were back in the hospital with him because he got really bad jaundice, which was surprising because his levels were low when we left. But he had a hematoma on his head from birth because he was stuck in the birth canal. It was a whole thing. He was 10 pounds when he was born, so it was a whole thing. But so he was stuck and got a hematoma because he was stuck in my pelvis, and it was blah 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 blah. So it turns out, I'm gonna butcher how this works, so I apologize. So if you know how this works, I'm sorry, but this is my understanding kind of what happened. So when babies are born, they kind of have the mom's blood in them, and then they kind of flush that out. Their liver kind of flushes that out, and they make way for their kind of own blood cells. And you know, his hematoma was basically holding a bunch of my blood, and then his liver couldn't process it accordingly. So he got really bad jaundice. We had to take him back to the hospital. They didn't know what was going on at first. They thought they might have to remove his gallbladder. They thought it could be his gallbladder that wasn't functioning. They were doing all these tests on him. It was just me and him there. I don't speak German. It was Derek was on speakerphone with the nurses who only speak German. I mean, the doctors in Germany speak English, but the nurses don't. And that's who you're seeing all the time, right? The doctor will pop in every once in a while. But so he's trying to translate, and then medical German is very difficult. And so he's trying to understand that, even though he's fluent in German. It was very stressful. So anyways, yes, that was very stressful. Luckily he didn't need any surgery, didn't even need the lights. He was just below the level for needing the lights or whatever, but they kept us in the hospital. Poor little guy. They kept pricking his heel to get the blood they needed. They gave him a COVID test to admit us. I mean, he was 4 days old. We had literally not even been out of the hospital 24 hours, and they shoved a swab so far up his nose. I felt so awful for him. And then they had to put in an IV, but they had to keep sticking him because his veins are small because he's a baby, like a new fresh born. Is what Derek always called him, fresh born, which I don't think is the accurate term. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I thought it was the funniest. When he was registering Atlas for all of the like German paperwork and American paperwork, well I guess not the American, but the German paperwork, he didn't know how to say newborn, so he just called him freshgeborn, like freshly born baby. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Anyways, but so we were in the hospital, and out of the hospital obviously for Atlas, and then like a week later we were in the hospital for Zoe. She had to have surgery. I'm not really going to talk too much about that. That's like her little personal journey. She's totally fine, totally healthy, but she did have to have surgery, and so it was very stressful for us. Only Derek could be there. I had to be at home with Atlas, which was very upsetting for us because they told us we could be all together at first, and then the day before we arrived to the hospital they told us no, only one. And obviously it had to be Derek, not only because he's fluent in German, but because I was at home with a newborn baby where I'm basically a food truck, you know, so I don't have a choice. So it was very stressful to be separated. They were in the hospital for like 3 to 4 days, I think. Luckily we were able to visit, they were able to come outside. So that was good, and I got to be there for Zoe when she came out of like surgery and anesthesia and stuff. So, but that was all really stressful. So it was just like one thing on top of another, and on top of that we were trying to buy a house in America, sight unseen, and we were still quarantining because of COVID, because COVID numbers were bad. We quarantined like my entire pregnancy. I basically didn't see another adult. We did, when numbers dropped, go to Disneyland Paris with our friends. If you haven't seen that video, that was really fun. So that was nice because the numbers were low and we could do that. But then fall hit, winter hit, we basically went right back into quarantine. So it was just a very stressful time. So I just had to take a step back from vlogging. There was no way I could like, I still haven't like emotionally processed all of that, and there was no way I could like film about it as it was happening and deal with any of that. And like I said, for like privacy reasons, I don't want to get too much into anything like our kids needed. Like it's one thing to talk about like Atlas's birth, like that's a birth, that's fine. And like jaundice, because kids get jaundice. But it's another thing to get into like any deep medical, anything like that. So we're not going to talk too much about that. Actually, I think that's the end of that. But so on to house hunting. We were trying to buy a house in America, sight unseen. So we were, this home that we ended up in is our seventh offer. I mean, we looked at a lot of houses, and it got to the point where it was like, we didn't even care to look at a house. It was just like, oh, okay, we've seen some pictures and we have a vague idea of where that's at, luckily, because we've lived in this city before. Put an offer in without even seeing it, because things were going within hours. I mean, it was insane, and things were going for way over asking. People were plopping like $750,000, $500,000 on the table in cash. Who are those people? Who are they? No one knows. But it's just like, I mean, the Pacific Northwest, like, we are found. Like, we're like the last stop on the way to Canada, and we've been discovered, unfortunately. And so, unfortunately for us, it was just like the wrong time to buy, the wrong time to be a buyer, and we did not have a choice. So I do think that God put us in the perfect house. I'll be honest, like, this is definitely like the best house we looked at. It's awesome. The yard is amazing, which is literally why we bought the house. It's funny. Derek showed me this house and showed me pictures, and I was like, no, I hate it. And he was like, what are you talking about? The yard is so big. And I was like, no, the yard's on the side of the house. I hate side yards. I want a backyard. And he was like, okay, stop it. You're being crazy. We're going to go look at it. And I'm so glad I was just like over it. I'm so glad he like called me out though and was like, no, we're going to go look at it, because the second we saw it, like, our realtor like walked us through on like videos. We had such a good realtor. I used to be a realtor and I worked with her, and so like obviously I knew her and I knew she wouldn't like lead us astray, and I would not recommend buying sight unseen really to anyone, but like this was like a weird situation and we were putting offers in on homes every week. It's not like we could just fly back one weekend and there was a bunch of inventory. It was like, okay, here's the house this week that literally every single person is looking at, so good luck. But we got so lucky with this house. Our neighbors are amazing. We already have like a bunch of friends in the neighborhood, which is great. Zoe has friends in the neighborhood, which is great. I feel like super safe and secure, which is one of the things I wanted from a home, because we've never lived in a home before. We lived in like a duplex before moving to Germany, and then we lived in an apartment, so we've never lived in like a house. And so I was like, I really want to make sure that like the neighborhood's secure, that we like the neighborhood, that we, you know, we feel safe in our house and all this stuff. And so we do, and we have a great neighborhood, and we got super lucky because obviously, like I said, we couldn't see it in person. But yeah, so that's a little bit of our journey to finding our home. It was a long process, but we got in the home. It was very stressful, but we're here. What else has been happening? I don't know. I feel like life is just tumbling forward, right? And we're just trying to keep up with it. So yeah, so that's a little bit about like just what's been going on with us, why we took such a long break. It was super stressful to try and get out of Germany and get into America, to get all the paperwork for Atlas to prove he's ours, and yes, we can like bring him into America and stuff like that. So, and then just to shut everything down in Germany was super stressful. Yeah, so that's a little bit about like what we went through, just like very small like amount of what we went through. But I'm hoping now that like life has settled out a little bit, like we can get back into some kind of rhythm of posting some videos, which I think will be fun. Yeah, I think so. Just stay tuned for some like life videos, some little adventure videos. We are so happy to be back in the Pacific Northwest. So we'll be doing hopefully lots of adventuring. Our kids seem into it, hopefully. Atlas seems super ready to go. He loves whenever we're out. Zoe's really excited to be adventuring and stuff like that. So I do have some like back videos that I never posted from Europe, so I'll eventually get around to editing those and like posting those. But I'm hoping we'll get into a little bit more of a rhythm now. And so then I'm gonna do a quick tour of our house, show you our house. Everything you're gonna see pretty much, unless it's decor, and the beds. We did buy new beds. These beds are ours, but everything else is rental furniture. Our furniture is on a boat somewhere, and y'all know about the backups that are happening. That includes like personal shipments. So we shipped our stuff 2 months ago now at this point, and they just keep pushing back our date. I mean, I don't think it's currently like beginning of November, and they told us we'd have our stuff by the end of October, and then they told us, oh no, just kidding, end of December, like very end of December, not before Christmas. So I kind of went crazy buying a bunch of Christmas stuff because we have no decor, and I was like, wow, everyone loves Christmas things, so I'll just buy a bunch of Christmas stuff. And then, I mean, I don't think we're gonna see our stuff until February, honestly, because once it even gets into the port in Seattle, it's just gonna sit there because there's such a backlog of shipping containers. So it's just gonna sit there, and it has to go through customs, which is gonna take forever, and then it has to get to us. And so when's that gonna happen? No one knows. So we're kind of disappointed because our skis wouldn't fit in our air shipment, so we don't have our skis. We have our ski gear, our boots and stuff. That was able to fit, but we're gonna have to do ski rentals, which is a bit of a bummer. We both really like our skis, and ski rentals are kind of a pain. But we did get Zoe skis. She's very excited, so stay tuned for that. We'll get some video of her skiing, hopefully. I mean, last year all she wanted to do was make snowballs. Was it last year? Or was it the year before? 2019? I think it was 2019. She just wanted to make snowballs, so we'll see what happens this year. Oh, 2019. Is it 20? No, it's 2021 now. Goodness. You can tell we've all been living in this like eternal stuck in our home-ness, so I don't even know what the date is. But all of that is to say, goodness, that was a ramble. All of that is to say that basically the furniture you're gonna see is a rental. So we'll do another home tour, I think, once I get things painted. Zoe's room is painted, but no one else's is. I'll do another like tour once we get all of our stuff, once we're moved in and things are painted and we're settled and stuff. I think that'll be really fun to kind of see the difference of like now versus then. I should have done a tour when it was like empty, but it doesn't really matter. It's still pretty empty. We didn't get a lot of rental furniture. So yeah, so I hope you enjoy. It's just gonna be very short, like little walkthrough tour kind of situation. Yeah, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for sticking in there with me. I'm glad to be back, glad to be settled a little bit in life. Yeah, it's good to be home. So we have a typical 1970s split level. We're getting a new door. You probably can't tell, but it just, oof, it's terrible. I mean, you can see the light when the sun shines right on it, the light comes right through. I mean, the wind, it's cold, it's awful, but we have these really nice windows. Eventually I'd like to get some stained glass put in there. Not a big stained glass person normally, but I think that'd be really pretty and let the light in and give us some privacy as well. So anyways, you come up here. The only place they put carpet, they left carpet, I guess I should say, is the stairs, and I will be ripping that out. Derek's gonna come home one day and that will be gone. So you come upstairs into our living room. Huge windows. There's the cat. So we're gonna build this wall back up to the ceiling because we have so many windows, which we absolutely love. There's actually not a lot of wall space to hang like our art and photographs and stuff like that. So we'll be putting that back up, plus it'll help with the sound barrier from downstairs. So hopefully my dad can come out and help with that next summer, because we got these beautiful like tall vaulted ceilings, which we absolutely love. But I can't really build a wall with a vaulted ceiling without help. So we're gonna build another play space. We're gonna put some shelving, built-in shelves here for more toy storage just for up here. I like having that space with some toy storage, and then we're gonna get, okay, this is obviously not our couch. I guess I should have explained that basically all the furniture you're gonna see is rental furniture until our furniture arrives. Who knows, months from now, it's stuck on a boat somewhere. I mean, the rug is ours, and obviously the play mat and play things and stuff are ours. We shipped those ahead of time. Not the rug, we bought the rug when we got here, but yeah, so we're gonna get a nice sectional for in here. We really like the space again. It's just a really good size for our family. We're gonna get like an electric fireplace on this wall, and some built-in bookshelves, and we'll wall mount the TV. We have a really nice slider out to our deck. I'll show you our deck. And then we have a nice dining room. I'm really excited to get our dining stuff in here and put everything away. We're gonna do a little coffee bar where the vacuum is. We'll put a coffee bar there, and then this wall, let's see if I can get a good shot of it. This wall right here, we are taking down. We are not gonna be able to take it all the way down. It is load bearing, you can tell because they left this beam. I believe this post and this post for sure are gonna be the load bearing ones. I don't think that one is. So what we're gonna do is hopefully take that post all the way down. We're gonna take it all the way down. You can see they started. Makes me nervous because I'm not sure why they didn't, what they were getting into, so we'll see. But you can tell they like started. They have this weird little like cutout. I think they probably got into a load bearing post is what they got into. So we're gonna take it down to here because we do have like switches and electrics in the wall right there. So it'll be kind of taller on this side. And then in the kitchen, it'll come down a little bit lower to counter height, and counters will come out here. We'll do counters across there, cupboards, drawers really here, and then it's gonna be open on this side so we can put their little learning tower there and they can slide it up and do baking and stuff with me. So that'll be really nice. But right now it's just like holding our trash and broom and stuff. But I can't wait to get that taken down so I can actually see the kids while I'm in the kitchen, because one of my biggest pet peeves. So we'll see what kind of beast we get into with that. But here's our kitchen. It does not look good on camera. I promise those are not yellow countertops. They are like a light brown. I still don't like them, but it's not showing up well. They obviously redid the kitchen recently, but it's just not to my taste, so we'll probably paint the cupboards here. I don't know, it just doesn't function well, so I'm gonna have to see what I can do about it. But the appliances are super nice. We're hopefully gonna get a new fridge because I prefer like a freezer drawer on the bottom type fridge, but we'll see. I mean, you can't even get anything anyway right now. I mean, nothing's in stock. So yeah, so this is our kitchen. I can't wait to get more storage space because like put more drawers and IKEA, good old IKEA stuff here, because it just, I mean, it's just not enough storage. It's almost full and we have nothing of our stuff yet. This light is gonna move up here and become like a hanging light. I don't know what's going on with that weird little like sailboat light. I don't know. And then, yeah, just another shot of our entry. Again, I'm just gonna tear that up one day. Derek's gonna come home and be like, what's happening? So, hallway. So this is actually our pantry. You'd think it was a coat closet. It probably was a coat closet at one point. Functions so much better as a pantry, so I'm glad they did that. And then we have another hall closet right here, just like sliders. I'd love to like get some nice built-in doors or something, but this works. Right now it's just holding like medicines and paint and formula and Christmas gifts. And then this is our, hello, main bath, the kids' bathroom. You can tell I'm doing some paint swatching. But yeah, so this is their bathroom. They have a bath and I don't know, it's your standard bathroom. You can tell they did like our bathroom and this bathroom at the same time because everything matches. Which I'm not really a matchy-match person, but whatever. It's really nice stuff. I will take it. Okay, so here's our room. We obviously haven't done anything. We have no furniture. This is our bed. We bought a king-size bed when we moved in because we needed a new bed and we really wanted a king-size. So we're gonna be getting a new light fixture. We'll get our dresser in here. We're testing out some paint colors. I think we're gonna go with this like really dark forest green. And then we have like a nice ensuite bathroom, which is awesome. So, hello. Just a small little vanity. But the shower is amazing. The window is less than. It's like right in front of the toilet. Like I don't know, I wouldn't never open that blind because that's weird. And then we have a really nice, really messy in here, walk-in closet that we are gonna put some IKEA packs, like built-ins in, and we're gonna get rid of this door. It's just in the way. I'm probably gonna put in like a nice sliding barn door, so then it's not in the way and it can slide kind of that way is what I'm thinking. But it just takes up half the closet in there right now. So we'll get rid of that, but this is our room. And then we're gonna get some nice wallpaper for that wall behind the headboard, and I think it'll be really pretty, but I have yet to find something I've fallen in love with. All right, Zoe's room. Zoe's Christmas tree. Oh, there it is. Show you her little Christmas tree real quick. Super cute. So Zoe's room is the only one that's painted. So she has a Harry Potter themed room. I painted her this mural. We'll walk up close to it in a second. And she's gonna get her new light fixture too, because more boob lights. And she will get the IKEA pack storage system as well, like the IKEA closet system. There's a little potty for nighttime. Because this is just, it's a useless closet. But her bed's on the floor. We haven't built her bed yet. She has a day bed, like a day trundle bed. So we will get that built here soon. She's insistent on having her rail up at this point because she slid out of her bed one time and apparently it was traumatic. But we can look at her little mural here that I painted. We have Quidditch, there's Hagrid's hut, there's the castle, there's an owl, dragon, Hogwarts Express, the Whomping Willow and car, the lake, there's a stag, and a Little Mermaid tail, and then the Forbidden Forest with some spiders. So her mural took a while, which is why hers is the only room that's painted, but I'm super pleased with the way it turned out. I can't wait to get her bed in here and get her actual furniture and rug and everything. Her curtains are, I did not measure when I hung them, so I'll have to go back and do so because they are a little uneven, but that's for another day. But so yeah, her room's much bigger than Atlas's. But you know, first kid, girl, what are you gonna do? My room was bigger than my brother's too. All right, so here's Atlas's room and his Christmas tree. His room is pretty small. The chair is also way too large for this room. I'm gonna paint some mountains on this wall. I haven't got any painting done yet. And then over here, we're gonna get a different dresser, obviously. That one's just way too big, and we'll move the chair over there. And then his closet, and we're gonna take his closet doors off, the same as Zoe, and then we'll get some IKEA built-in closets in here. Change out the light fixture, you know, all that stuff. But we're kind of going with a, we're gonna go with like an outdoor adventure-y, camping, national parks kind of theme in here. Hence his Christmas tree, which I will just show you since we're here. Little thermos. Yeah. Look at this guy. So cute. And then look at this Santa. He's skiing. Yeah, found him at Goodwill. And Yoshi. Okay, so when you come in, that's the front landing. Downstairs we have a split level. Here's the garage. So it's a nice sized garage, very deep. We're gonna get a bunch of bike racks and ski racks and shelves. We have these cupboards that came with the place. We're gonna rip those out so we can put a bunch of shelves in because I have a bunch of bins like that coming. Our beer fridge, the important stuff. They left us this deep freezer, which is awesome. Here's our house. We're getting a new front door put in, so that's our front door. That's Zoe's bed. Just random strollers everywhere. That's our new car. Our new Forester. We had to order it from the factory because there's literally no cars in stock anywhere. So before we moved from Germany, it's the exact same car basically we had before. We knew we loved our Forester, so we just said, please, please give us a Forester. So yeah, we've been very happy with that. So you come in from the garage, and we have this nice big closet here. Don't mind the baby gate, it's supposed to keep the cat out of that room. We have a huge closet. This has a bunch of suitcases in it right now. And then over here is our huge laundry room. And so then we have some food, extra food storage, and then more storage. Right now it's just, obviously nothing has a place right now because we don't have our stuff. So everything's just kind of all over the place, but lots of closets down here, which is great. So then you come into here, this is gonna be the main playroom. We have some really nice windows in here. Right now this is where Derek works from. So it's not our playroom because we have none of our stuff. And then notice all the moving boxes, more moving boxes, 2 beds. This is rental beds. We had some company come when we first stayed here. So we had some beds, and now it's kind of nice because Derek will have really early 4 a.m. meetings for Germany. And so he comes down here, has his meeting, and then gets like another 30-minute nap without having to come back upstairs and like possibly wake up me and the kids. So this room, eventually we'd like to get some windows put in here and get a wall put across so you can kind of see where the beam framing is. So we're gonna get a wall and some closets and turn it into a 4th bedroom, which we will then use as Derek's office and guest room, which will be really nice because then he can close it off and then the kids and I can be down here using the actual playroom, which will be really nice. We have a guest bath, great for Derek when he goes mountain biking. He can just come down here, throw his clothes in the wash, and pop in the shower. So really, the layout of this house is why we bought this house. I forgot to tell you about one of our like favorite features of our home is these heat pumps. We have one here, we have one in the downstairs, which I didn't point out, and then actually the bedrooms are on their own system. So that does heating and cooling. The one downstairs does heating and cooling. And then there's, let me show you. I'll show you the bedrooms too. I mean the bathrooms too. So the bathrooms also have their own little heater system. We don't really use them, but in case you want more heat in here, actually any heat in here, it's just occurred to me there's no heat in here. So they each have their own little like electric wall heater. So then in the bedrooms, you got the heating ducts. Gosh, the camera just doesn't want to focus. But you got the ducts on the ceiling. And so the heat pump for the bedrooms is connected to the ducts, the old ductwork, and it comes out there, and it's awesome. So you can have the bedroom set on something different than the main room, than the downstairs, than the bathrooms. It's awesome. Like, huge perk of the house. Like, we absolutely love that. That was a great thing they added. I might not have been down with all their like design choices. I mean, are you ever, when you buy a house, right? And in this market, beggars could not be choosers. So we were like, this house has enough bedrooms. Please, please give it to us. Awesome. We're so excited, especially because it's been getting so hot here in the Pacific Northwest. Like last summer, like it was outrageous. I think it reached like 100 degrees or something. So we're very excited to have air conditioning, and the heating works great. And so we're really pumped about having heat pumps. Okay, so this is our backyard area. We have a really nice fire pit, lots of climbing rocks, which Zoe loves. We love how private our yard is. It's all fenced in. Well, it's fenced in on 3 sides. So we're gonna put a kids like play space over here, lots of play area for them to run in, and then there's our deck. You can't really see it, which we like. We actually found out we have to get it replaced because all the joists are rotting, so we can't even use it, and we are very disappointed, and that was not a fun surprise. But it's a double layer deck. You come out of the patio, top layer, bottom layer, and there's the stairs. So we're getting that all replaced, probably keeping the same design. I mean, we have some bids out. We'll see what they say about building out bigger or something like that, but we love the deck. It's so private, so quiet. We're hoping to get a hot tub at some point. You know, all the things that you want to do when you have a house and you want to do it all at once, but it's impossible. There's the heat pumps. Should probably clear some leaves. We have a nice big shed that we're, unfortunately, it's right where the basement windows are, so we're gonna have to like move it, or I don't know what we're gonna do, to be honest. But this is more of our backyard. We had to have a giant tree, actually 2 trees cut down, but I'll show you the tree. We have some nice little sitting area back here. So we had to have this Douglas fir cut down, super sad. He was starting to rot on the inside, which we didn't know till we cut him down, but he was leaning towards our house, and we get like really powerful windstorms where we're at. And he was so tall. He was taller than any of these trees. He was ginormous. Obviously, as you can tell, from the base, but he would have taken out our entire house had he fallen on us, and killed us all. So we had him cut down, and so we're gonna repurpose some of the logs here when we can figure out how to move them, as some like climbing play space for the kids. But I mean, to be honest, we were sad to like lose the forest feel, but it really opened up our backyard. So I mean, it's tons of space back here. It'll be a good spot for the chickens when we get chickens. Maybe we can put a little tiny home back here for Derek's office and stuff like that, so we can get some separation from the house, which would be great for him. So yeah, we're super pleased. We also have a very large front yard. I'll show you that. There's nothing really to see there. It's just yard right now. Our yard is very lumpy. I'm not going to show you the front of our house because I just feel like for security reasons, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But so this is our front yard, and we're actually going to tear out everything, the grass, aka, and put in a giant garden and greenhouse that we're going to fence in. So we're super excited to get on that, get some fruit trees, vegetable plants, all that stuff. So I think that's gonna be awesome, to be honest. But we're super happy, super happy here. So we have a huge yard, which was one of my things I wanted, and we're really close to mountain biking, which is what Derek wanted. So I'm curious to see what all these plants are gonna do in the summer, what they look like.